Self-sabotage and the nice guy go hand in hand. And in this video, I want to take you through 5 examples of where the nice guy will sabotage his relationship without even realizing it. And then after I've gone through those, I'm going to go through the solution and why this actually happens, because chances are you're probably done with this and you're ready to become that strong, grounded, secure man in his relationship that his family and his future can depend on. Now, the first way that he will sabotage this is by constantly seeking reassurance. So what we need to understand is that in a relationship, the nice guy is constantly looking to his partner for validation that he is good enough. And one of the ways that he does this through his conscious knowing, but also in these covert contracts he makes where he's not really aware that he's doing this, but he is constantly seeking her validation and her reassurance, because that is how he remains feeling good enough and feeling secure, right? So this could mean he fishes for compliments, or he goes above and beyond because he knows if he does that, she's going to really validate him and compliment him and love him extra. And these are all ways that he's going to actually feel worthy and actually feel good enough, because deep down, the nice guy doesn't feel good enough. He doesn't feel worthy. And because he then can't reassure and validate himself, right? He struggles to know his own worth. He's always going to look for that in a partner and in a relationship, right? And this is fine to begin with, right? We all need compliments. We all love, having that reassurance and validations. It's not saying that that's wrong, but if you are constantly doing things in a certain way in order to receive that, over time, your partner is going to get sick of it, right? She's going to notice that you don't feel safe, secure, confident, and convicted in who you are, and that she is the source of that, right? Which adds this extra pressure, which again is going to force her to step up into the masculine role, which I'll get into in a second. And again, she's just going to get over being the source of your worth and always needing to say the right things to make you feel good enough, right? This is our responsibility as men to be able to feel that for ourselves. Having that from her is going to be great, and we still need that, but she shouldn't be the sole source of your worth. All right, that leads us on to point number 2, which is having your mood dictated by hers. So when she's happy and she's loving and she's affectionate and her energy's good and she's had a good day, then you allow yourself to feel the same, right? Your energy and your mood is going to mirror hers. And in that moment, again, because she is a source of your self-worth, you're going to feel okay, right? The relationship is going to feel good and you're going to feel safe. But as soon as her mood changes, right? As soon as she's a bit upset, or she's mad, or she's frustrated, or she's had a bad day, or she needs to take some space away from you, you instantly start spiraling. You instantly start overthinking things. And now you feel on edge. Again, coming back to point 1, because if she's upset, in your mind, you must have done something wrong, right? Or in your mind, she's now going to leave because her energy and her mood has changed. And because that's where you look to get your reassurance and validation that you are enough, that you are safe and secure in this relationship, and that changes, that's when the spiral starts. That's when the overthinking starts. And that's when countless troubles come up, because more often than not, it's actually nothing that you have done. Right? She's just going through her natural mood fluctuations, which we all do, and women especially will do. And so in that moment, she's looking for you to be able to stay grounded, stay convicted, stay confident in who you are, and be there to support her if she needs it, or to just give her space, right? But as the nice guy, and again, something I struggle with as well, the thought of giving someone space, because we are so dependent on her for how we feel, that feels like a very, very challenging thing to do. Now, number 3 is all around decision making and leading. The nice guy will struggle to step up into that leadership role, into that strong masculine role. Again, the reason is because he thinks that, okay, if I make a decision and it's wrong, or she doesn't like it, if she doesn't like the restaurant I pick, or the place we go on holiday, or what we do today, and if she doesn't like that, again, we go back to this same problem. She's going to be upset, she's going to be sad, she's going to be frustrated, and that means to me that I am now unsafe. Because if she's mad at me and she's my reflection of my self-worth, now I'm going to spiral. Now I'm going to overthink. And so what the nice guy will do is he will always defer the decision making. He will always just let her do it, because he's easygoing, he's calm, he's go with the flow. And what he thinks is a flex and is being something really nice. And there are times where this has its place. But over time, if she can't trust you, if she can't trust the masculine to step up and lead and make decisions, all of that trust is going to be eradicated, because she is now having to step up and assume a role that is not really hers to assume. She doesn't want to do that at her core feminine level. And again, this was something that I struggled with as well, because I always thought, oh, well, if I just let her make the decisions, that means she's going to pick something that she wants and she's going to be happy. But again, over time, it's just going to kill that trust. It's going to kill that connection and intimacy from a masculine feminine dynamic. So this is just where the nice guy experiences imposter syndrome. He doesn't feel confident in who he is, confident in his decision making, confident to, stand there in case he does make the wrong decision and there's a bit of conflict. Right? He feels like an imposter being the leader because it's not something he's used to, because he's lived for so long not feeling good enough, not feeling worthy. And if he feels those things, then how is he supposed to step up and lead? Number 4 is along a similar line, but he will always struggle to put his needs and desires first. He will struggle to voice his opinions. He will struggle to go and have his own time and own space, because again, this creates the opportunity for her to be mad, for her to be upset, for there to be conflict. Because what if I stand up and say, this is what I need, or this is what I've been missing, or this is what, I would like you to do for me, or whatever it might be. He stands on his truth. And she doesn't agree with that. Now we're in conflict, and conflict to the nice guy is the worst possible thing. He will avoid it at all costs. And so this means that he will often just suppress his desires, suppress his needs, suppress his truths and the things that he wants to say, again, because he would rather do that and him just deal with it and just internalize it than have the potential of it creating conflict, there being an argument, or of her, not liking him and end up leaving him. This is where the nice guy's head goes. He spirals, and so he just pushes it down and down and down and down, and eventually we get to a point where he's sitting in resentment. There's so many things that he wants to change and that he doesn't like that he just puts up with, because to him that is easier than the thought of her leaving and again taking his mirror for his self-worth with her, and him being back at square one in a really painful and challenging place. And number 5, which kind of ties all of this together, is he is a chronic overthinker, and he will always go to worst case scenario, because his nice guy identity, the mask that he wears, the way that he shows up, is a protection mechanism. He is essentially being someone he thinks he needs to be in order to be liked, because there was a time where his true self was pushed down or mocked or shamed or abandoned or judged. And so he wears this mask, he pretends to be someone, and that's just the way that he remains safe, right? So he will often go to worst case scenario to almost prepare himself for the worst so he can act accordingly. And he will overthink, again, because his mind is so geared to her leaving. His mind is so geared to the worst case scenario because, again, his worth and his safety is in her hands, because he doesn't know how to give that to himself. Right, so we get overthinking, we get overanalyzing, like, why did she text back so late? Why did she wait so long? The words that she uses. Now I'm overthinking. Now I'm going back and reading over old texts, the way she speaks to friends or the things that she does. Overthinking every little thing, because we are simply scanning for danger, scanning for signs that she might leave so that I can act accordingly. Right, so I can people please, so I can let her make the decisions, so I can try and fix everything, so I can go above and beyond and overcompensate to make her love me and validate me, and so I can feel safe again. Right, it's just this one constant spiral. Now, as I've gone through those, I'm sure you can see there's a lot of crossover here. And the reason that is basically it comes to the core and the heart of what the nice guy is and why he is actually there. I did a full video, 25-minute breakdown or whatever it was, on the nice guy identity. It's a few videos back if you haven't watched that. But to give you the cliff notes, as I said, the nice guy was built in a time to be a protection, as a protection mechanism. And his sole goal as the nice guy is survival. And the reason he does that, again, is because there was a time where who he was as a man was rejected, was mocked, was abandoned and shamed. And so in that moment, he learned, okay, for me to be loved and to feel worthy and to feel capable and to feel good enough, I need to pretend to be someone else. I need to put on this mask and present this version of myself to the world. And if I don't do that, then the same thing's going to happen. They're going to see the real me. And because I've learned that's not enough, I'm then going to lose a relationship, or I'm going to be rejected, or I'm going to be laughed at. All things we associate with pain. And so he will people please. He will pretend to be someone else. He will do all the things that I've just mentioned in a relationship, because when he attracts in that relationship, instead of allowing himself to fully relax and put his walls down and just be his true self, he worries that if he does that, she will see him for who he really is, his true self, which, remember, was not good enough. And she will realize that she's made a mistake and she will leave, right? And now he'll be back to square one. So he goes into the nice guy mask, seeks validation all the time, doesn't lead, doesn't make decisions, right? Has her mood affect his. And all of this is simply because he doesn't feel good enough as a man, right? That's literally as simple as it is. when he looks in the mirror, when he looks at his life, when he looks at his past, when he hears the thoughts in his mind, he just hears, I'm not good enough. And so the fact that he's now got a relationship, and like he doesn't want to let that go. He doesn't want to lose it. So he does everything that he possibly can in order to keep it, right? Hence the list that I have just gone through. Right? She is the source of his worth, and nothing good is going to come of that. No relationship, no family, no dynamic that you actually want is ever going to come, or you continue to wear this mask and you continue to outsource your worth to her. Right? It's okay to want compliments and validation and reassurance. This is all normal parts of a relationship. But ask yourself, can I stand on my 2 feet if she was to leave? Would I still feel the same way about myself if she was to leave? Can I be so confident and convicted in who I am and the value I provide and what I have to give, that if she's not the right person, then I know that the right person will come in and will be exactly what I need. Right? But you can't do that if you continue to outsource your worth and who you are to her, and then you jump through every hoop possible just not to lose her. You're not embracing the relationship, you're just trying not to lose it. This is what the nice guy does. He doesn't want loss. He doesn't want this not good enough story to be validated again and to have more evidence that this is true. So all of these things that I've just gone through, right? There's some strategy and some solutions we can speak about individually, but ultimately they're all just symptoms of a deeper root cause, and that is a man living in an identity that doesn't feel good enough. So the work that I do, and the work of that the nice guy needs to do, is to change this. Right? There's a story we need to shift. There's an inner world we need to recalibrate. There's thoughts, there's language, there's belief systems. There's a core foundation of the nice guy that needs to change. Because if he keeps seeking relationships, he's just going to have the same problem again and again and again, because he hasn't actually attended to the root of the problem. Ultimately, yes, you need a partner that can help you through this stuff. But there's work that you need to do first. Right? You need to take back control, take back your worth, so that when she's not in a good mood, or you make a decision, or whatever's going on, right? You are not, how you feel about yourself is not so dependent on her. Right? If nothing but for your own sanity, but for the dynamic of the relationship. Right? A masculine feminine dynamic, a truly healthy relationship dynamic, is going to need you to be able to validate your own worth without being so reliant on her. All right, brother. So yeah, hopefully this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, drop them down below. And if this is work that you know you need to do, right, you're ready to step up and be the man and the leader and the role model that your family and your future can depend on, then I have my group mentorship that begins on July 13th called The Proving Ground. There are details down below. And yeah, this is the place you need to be if you're actually ready to do this work, because I know how exhausting it can be to just constantly feel not good enough, to constantly be in your own head, and to constantly sabotage potentially beautiful and forever relationships because you can't quiet the mind and you can't allow yourself to feel safe and secure and confident in who you are. All right, so details down below. Otherwise, send me a message on Instagram if you want to chat. And yeah, I hope you found this valuable. Like, subscribe, all the things, and we'll see you in the next one.